morning, loved ones. It's Wednesday morning and it's pitch black in Stockholm. And it's raining. I hope the spring is coming soon. We are gonna do some yoga as usual, and I was doing boxing yesterday, so I think I'm kind of tense, so we need to warm up. But we're gonna start with some breathing exercises. So get down on your sitting bones and roll your shoulders back. Close your eyes and focus on the area between your eyebrows, the third eye looking inwards. Just pay attention to where you are today, observe, try not to judge in any way and not to change anything, just observe. We're going to start taking control over our breathing. So on the inhalation, feel how your stomach is expanding, filling it with air. And when the stomach is full, you feel the chest. And exhale, drag the belly button towards the spine to press out the air from your lungs. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And the last inhalation. And exhale. This breathing that we've been practicing now, we're going to try to have during the rest of the class. But before we do the rest of the class, we're going to do the fire breathing to wake ourselves up from the inside. And then we do the fire breathing. And the fire breathing we do by pulling our belly button towards the spine. And it is tricky in the beginning, and you're probably going to have to take a few breaths in between, but you'll get a hang of it. So, you can close your eyes to start. Inhale. Job. And we're gonna roll up so we come to all our fours. And I know that maybe not every one of you is practicing on a yoga mat, And when we then come to the downward facing dog, that's why the yoga mats are like special, because they're not as slippery as other mats that you could use. But it's possible to do those classes without a yoga mat. And now place your hands straight underneath your shoulders and spread your fingers so you get like as much grounded as possible. And place your knees straight underneath your hips. We're gonna inhale and come forward a little bit with our tummy and look halfway up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come forward. Relax your neck here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Stop in a neutral position. Tuck your toes underneath, and on the exhalation come to downward facing dog. In our downward facing dog, we want to have a straight spine. So bend your knees, strive with your hips up towards the ceiling. Relax your shoulders and relax your neck. When you have a straight spine, you can slowly start working your heels down towards the mat. But it's very important to get the straight spine here. We also want to have as much of our weight as possible on our feet. So you don't want to have like all the weight down here on your hands, it's getting really heavy then. And also the downward facing dog, it's actually a resting position, which was very annoying for me in the beginning. But you'll get there eventually, so have some patience. Exhale and walk forward towards the hands. We're gonna stop here, hip width apart. And we're gonna close our hands in prayers position and just lean forward. I know a lot of people are working in front of computers today, so we get tensions in our chest. And this stretch is beautiful for that. It loosens up the tension in our chest. So inhale in, just, lean forward, relax your neck. Another inhalation, we come up to standing. I always get like a little cuddle with my plants in the morning. I don't know if it's loving me for it, or if it's hating me for it. We prefer the first one, right? We'll see, depending on how much it grows. We will follow it through the year. Put your big toes together and your heels together, and work the middle of your feet down towards the mat. So we get the central line through our body. We're gonna work a lot with our alignments. And then we take the rest of our toes and spread, just as we did with the fingers in downward facing dog. So we get really like duck feet, as wide as possible. And this also, I had no idea how to do this when I was starting, because I was walking a lot in high heels when I was younger. So my feet were tucked together and I couldn't move them. My toes, I couldn't move them at all. But one day, I remember when it started, I was like, oh my god, they start moving. So, so just continue practicing and it'll come. We put our root lock on, and then we find the root lock through finding the energy that, when you need to go to the bathroom and there is no bathroom around, do that movement and you'll find the root lock. It's like a tension around the pelvis bone. And the midlock we find through an energy between the hip bones and the rib bones. And then we have an energy all the way out in the fingertips. Bend your knees like a little micro bending and roll your shoulders back. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Inhale, come all the way up. And a micro bending back. Exhale, bend forward. Take a big step back with your right foot. Inhale here. Take a big step back with your left foot. Knees, chest, chin down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come forward with your right foot. Inhale. Come forward with your left foot. Exhale. Palms together, inhale all the way up. Exhale, bend forward. Come back with your left foot. Inhale. Come back with your right foot. Knees, chest, chin down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come forward with your left foot. Inhale. Come forward with your right foot. Exhale, come down. Palms together, inhale all the way up. And exhale. Great job. Taking a step back. We're going to come up on our toe. It can be kind of painful for the knee, especially in the beginning, so you can double fold the mat. I'm going to do a hip stretch, and then I had like a wish for doing the lizard pose, so we'll do that today. So here we're gonna like stretch out the front of our hip, and this position is super easy if you do not work with the root lock and the mid lock. So really find the locks and straighten your back up. We're not gonna work here, we're working here. Anyone wants to go further. If you're new, do not do this. But if you have practicing now for a month or have a little experience from yoga from before, you can come up with your back foot. And exhale, come down with your foot. Ow. That knee. We're gonna move our right foot to the outer part of the mat. And here we're gonna come down to our elbows, if possible. If you can't come down to your elbows, work where you are. But this is called the lizard pose, and it's like kind of a heavy hip stretch. If you want to maximize this, you can come up on your toe back. On the exhalation, come back with your right foot, and we're just going to do the plank for 5 breaths. exhale, come down with your hips. Let your upper body stay here. And we just spread our hands. So we come to something called the sphinx. You know, it's those animals protecting the pyramids in Egypt. We're gonna be those for a few breaths. And this is like a beautiful warm-up for back bends. So try to work your heart as much forward as possible. Tuck your toes, and on the exhalation we come back to downward facing dog. And we're just gonna try our downward facing dog with our forearm position. And come back to downward facing dog. Great job. And now when we're in downward facing dog, feel as if there's any difference between the right and the left side. I can feel, I can get my heel down on my right side, not on my left yet. So we've been working on the right side, not on our left side yet. But now we're gonna do, so come forward with your left foot. And if you want to, you double fold the mat, so you can come down with your right knee. Inhale, come up here. And remember, to get out something out of this stretch, you need to put on the root and the mid-lock. Otherwise it's like hanging out here. That's not what we're doing. We're doing yoga right now. You can hang out in like 10 minutes. Now we just move our left foot to the outside of the mat. Oh, I'm so sorry, we're just gonna do this as well. If you want to come further, do this. We hold this for 3 breaths. Exhale, comes down. Ooh, knee hurts in that position. We move our left foot to the outside of the mat and take away this double fold. And either you come down on your elbows or you work where you are, you can be here. And if you want to intensify, you come up on the toes in the back. But it's really important that you work where you are. I've been practicing yoga for 10 years, so if you're here or here, that's fucking amazing. Sorry, my language. It's beautiful, you know, so we have to work where we are. I didn't start it on my elbows. And I get compliments about being very flexible. I used to play handball, so flexibility is not like where I come from. I'm like a really stiff person. But through practicing, I become a bit softer, but I'm still a stiff person. Exhale, come back with your left foot, and we stand in the plank for 5 breaths. Exhale, come down with your hips. Relax your buttocks and come to the sphinx. Tuck your toes. Exhale, come to the downward facing dog in the forearm stand. walk our hands through, our feet through our hands. So sorry. In the mornings I'm always like this, but in the mornings it's worse. Come down to your sitting bones and we're gonna finish the class with a little meditation. So close your eyes and focus on the area between your eyebrows, the third eye looking inwards. And let this eye lead you to the area around your heart. And in this area you find an inner room that you get into, where you spend a little bit of time totally for yourself. There is nothing that has been and nothing that will come. Only you in this moment. Sahanau vavato, sahanau vonakto, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinau vatidamasto. Mawin Vishawahai Hari Om. Slowly come back to the room where you are. We're going to finish the class together with 3 chanting. So put your palms together in front of your heart. And first lead them to your forehead for you to think good thoughts through the day, to your mouth for you to speak the truth, and to your heart for you to be kind to yourself and to other people. And inhale to start the shantis. Shanti, shanti. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.